N18 and Federal Bank Primetime Studio.
You're watching the Hard Facts, brought to you live from the CNN News 18 Federal Bank Primetime Studio. Madam Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, it is now futile to try and deny that your administration was not found wanting in investigating the brutal and depraved RG Kaur rape and murder case. Anyone with a conscience, with a modicum of morality, would submit to the mounting evidence. The proof is so apparent, so glaring. It has manifested itself in such a brazen manner that it has even caught the eye of the Chief Justice of India. Today, the Supreme Court bench seized of the lapses, led by the Chief Justice of India, rubber-stamped the painstaking hard facts presented on this very show night after night for the last 1 week to indict Mamata Banerjee's administration and link it to a prima facie cover-up, viewers. The questions may have been the same as those raised by me in this show, but because they are posed by the ultimate arbiter of truth, the Supreme Court, they acquire a salience of their own. Viewers, in fact, by all accounts, the observations, the indictments of the Supreme Court, the mounting proof of cover-up has galvanized the protesters and have made them more determined to seek Mamata Banerjee's resignation. Viewers, friends, let me go through now the observation of the Supreme Court. Keep in mind what the hard facts has been telling you day after day, and see how the observations are derived from the hard facts, viewers. The Supreme Court said that the RG Kaur principal tried to pass off the death as a suicide. This show, viewers, has been telling you how that was done. The Supreme Court says, why was the FIR not registered till late night? The hard facts brought to you first, viewers. The fact that the FIR was filed almost a day after the crime, late into the night. The Supreme Court says undoubtedly there was a long delay in filing of FIR. We brought you proof. This team that produces the hard facts, viewers, brought you the evidence to show how this entire matter for 24 hours was being suppressed till the point that the father, viewers, took matters into his own hands and lodged the FIR. Viewers, the Supreme Court says, why didn't the hospital administration register an FIR? The crime happened in the hospital. It happened under the nose, the watchful, so-called watchful eye of the administrators. Yet, viewers, they were busy trying to suggest that this was a suicide. The Supreme Court has homed in on the hard facts and asked, why didn't the hospital administration register an FIR? It was bound by the law to do so. The Supreme Court goes on to ask, why were parents made to wait for 3 hours just to see the body? They were summoned through a telephone call. An extremely an extremely vague sounding person spoke to them, an administration official, to say, we don't know, something has happened. It appears that your daughter is under a lot of stress and that she's committed suicide. Would you like to come down to the hospital? And they came. But viewers, for 3 hours, as the Hard Facts team told you, they were made to wait. Today, the Supreme Court is asking, why were they not allowed to see the body for 3 hours? What was being done? Was the body of evidence being dressed up to hide the signs of the depraved brutality that the junior doctor was subjected to? These are piercing questions. And then, of course, beyond asking questions, the Supreme Court also rubber-stamped other findings that we put out here on the Hard Facts, that the Mamata Banerjee administration has resorted to, very simply, a crackdown with the aim of trying to, at some level or the other, quash the protesters and the uncomfortable questions they're asking. The Supreme Court said, and I quote it, the power of the state can't be unleashed on peaceful protests. Can't comprehend how the state couldn't handle vandalism. Why no action against the ex-RG Corps principal Sandeep Ghosh? A litany of questions. Sandeep Ghosh, of course, the principal, remember viewers, was famously, or rather infamously, let me put it that way, reinstated within 4 hours of after he quit his post as the principal of this particular college, RG Corps College, and then, viewers, within 4 hours was reappointed as the principal of another prestigious college in Kolkata, medical college. These, viewers, are the protesters. These are the people who today are the only ones qualified in flaunting a conscience. Why? Because they are unyielding in their demand, and today fired by the observations, the scathing observation of the Supreme Court, they have resolved to continue their fight. And I salute them, because they are made of sterner stuff. They are made of a backbone that even the state government of Bengal lacks. They are made of a moral fiber that the leaders of the TMC that were part of this cover-up, viewers, lack. These viewers are the heroes of our country. The scathing observations of the Supreme Court mean that the TMC government cannot any longer deny that there was something very malign about the reappointment of a principal who should in actuality have been booked for trying to scupper the truth and derail the probe into the RG Corps rape and horror. For 5 days, he is being questioned by the CBI. The withering words of the Supreme Court mean that the court has lost faith in the Mamata government's ability to secure the safety of women. That it has lost faith in her government's ability to abide by the constitutionalist view of the law. That it has lost faith in the Chief Minister's ability to uphold the law and not abuse the power at her disposal. But above all, the Supreme Court has indicated that the Mamata government cannot be trusted to deliver justice, which is the essence of good governance. And therefore, viewers, these protests that you're seeing on the streets of Kolkata, which have been going on for a week, viewers, are a testament to public power, and are a testament to the falling levels of belief that the people have in their administrators. Viewers, there are some takeaways from the Supreme Court order that we want to bring to you. The first, the Task Force for Safety Protocols to submit interim report in 3 weeks has been finalized The final report is to be out in 2 months, and this task force has been put together to ensure that the demands of some of the doctors to ensure that they are safe in their work environment are actually drafted. There's another takeaway. The center has been directed to deploy CISF personnel for security at RG Kaur Medical College and Hospital, which shows that the Supreme Court doesn't have faith any longer in the Kolkata police. Another takeaway. The CBI has ordered to file its status report on the progress of investigation by August 22 in 2 days, viewers, because the Supreme Court has made it clear it is not going to countenance a situation where these protesters have to keep waiting for the truth. The Bengal government has been ordered to file a status report on the mob attack investigation by August 22. It has to tell the Supreme Court now what it has done to bring all those people suspected to be deployed by the state administration to defuse the protesters, to break their morale. Viewers, there's another takeaway. The West Bengal government has been ordered not to use state power to target protesters, which means that the Supreme Court believes that today the administration has become the enemy of its own people and no longer a conduit for their aspirations. What a stinging indictment that is, viewers. Chief ministers, cabinets, etc. are there to serve the people, not serve themselves. The Supreme Court has requested the doctors to resume work, assured action on safety and security, which means that the Supreme Court has now taken it upon itself to secure them at their place of work. Taken together, the Supreme Court's observations are a profound moral indictment of Mamata Banerjee. The TMC has never fallen shy of reminding its opponents of their obligation to uphold Raj Dharma, viewers. The question now is, will the TMC Supremo walk the talk and quit gracefully as protesters are demanding? Fundamental question. Let's ask, viewers, some of our panelists today, and we have an erudite panel tonight. A panel that will speak its mind, and we hope to have constructive dialogue, not an acrimonious one. Tausif Khan, you're an advocate and a political analyst and sympathizer of the TMC government. I just want to ask you a basic question. Will you admit today that the supreme blow from the Supreme Court to the credibility of the Mamata government proves that she in office has betrayed the cause of women? Mr. Khan.
Rahul, BJP must be so disappointed today, and I welcome the order made by Supreme Court today. The Supreme Court had at the very outset clarified that the reason why they decided to take the suo moto matter is because this is not a matter related to a particular murder which took place in a hospital in Kolkata. It raises systemic issues related to the safety of doctors across India. That is what the concern of the Supreme Court was. And BJP must be so disappointed that Supreme Court neither ordered toppling of the Mamata Banerjee government in West Bengal, nor did the Supreme Court pass an order saying that there is a constitutional breakdown, that there is a breakdown of the constitutional machinery, suggesting that the president rule should be imposed, as the BJP in their wishful thinking wants. You see, this case is very clear that the people of India, and like me and like you and like everybody else on the country who rises above politics, wants to know the truth. And it is for this reason that both the state government has been asked by the Supreme Court to submit their report, as well as by the CBI, who is investigating this matter from last 6 days, to file their report on the progress of this case. There are various very questions, so many questions that CBI have to answer. You know, the accused has been in custody from last 6 days. Why the narco test has not been conducted? Why nobody else There are the Kolkata police officers are in suspicion. There are the senior management of the hospital, the doctors of the hospital under suspicion. Why none of them have been arrested by the CBI? If this is a case of gang rape, if this is a
Okay.
case of damaging the crime scene, if
Okay.
this is the case of damaging the materials and evidence, why the Supreme Court has not arrested anyone? Day-to-day update is not being given.
So you're suggesting, Mr.
So-
Khan, if I've read you right, that no one has questioned the Mamta administration. Now, selectively reading the order doesn't serve the interest of justice, viewers, and neither does it lend itself to a dignified assessment, an honest assessment of what really transpired in the Supreme Court. First, let me tell you, viewers, the Supreme Court
Yes.
cannot order the dismissal of any government. There is a laid down procedure that only happens after the president assesses reports sent in by governors, which are also perused by the cabinet. Recommendation is made to the president. I think we don't quite know our civics, viewers. But that aside, Mr. Khan says, no. This was a general overview not related to this particular case. Now, viewers, once again, let me remind you that the Supreme Court asked the following questions, passed the following remarks, and it didn't do so in a vacuum. It did so in a very particular and extremely deliberated way with direct reference to this RG Core horror. It said, RG Core principal tried to pass off the death as a suicide. Who appointed this principal, viewers? It was the Mamta administration. Who reinstated this principal within 4 hours? A person who tried to pass off, not in my words, the Supreme Court words, death as suicide. Can you believe it, viewers? In 4 hours, this person who tried to pass off death as suicide was reinstated. And Mr. Khan tonight tells us that no, the Supreme Court is not talking about this matter at all. Then, viewers, the Supreme Court said, why was the FIR not registered till late night? Again, viewers, the buck stops at the principal's table. Why didn't the hospital administration register an FIR? And if it didn't, viewers, are we to infer it didn't because of a malign intent, which is to cover up? And if that is indeed the case, viewers, then what was the Mamta administration doing reinstating this principal who oversaw these massive breaches of the law? And are we now supposed to believe that this Supreme Court was not interested in looking at the RG Core
Supreme
issue?
Court
but
has
was, no, let me finish, sir.
constituted-
Let me finish. I never interrupted you. I
Supreme
never
Court has
stopped you, sir. I'm
constituted
only.
National
I am
Task
not.
Force.
I never stopped you, sir. I beg you.
National Task Force.
I never interrupted you. I never interrupted you,
please
sir.
tell
Let
the
me
full
just
truth.
finish, please. I will come back to you. No problems. I'm not running away. Why were the parents made to wait for 3 hours to see the body? Then it goes on to indict in a very particular instance. The power of the state can't be unleashed on peaceful protest. Who has the power? Viewers, in the state of Bengal. Law and order is state subject. Mamata Banerjee is not just the chief minister, the home minister. The police report to her. What was the police doing? Fundamental questions are being asked of the Mamata Banerjee government, and Mr. Khan is telling us that no, this was some general, amble through the larger issues that affect women's safety in this country. Can you believe it, viewers? Can't comprehend how the state,
Yes.
how more specific do you want? State couldn't handle vandalism. Why no action against ex-RG Car principal Sandeep Ghosh? Do you know, viewers, he's not still suspended? Who's going to take all this action? Modi. Is Modi going to do it? Viewers, I'm asking you tonight rhetorically, is Modi going to do it? How ridiculous can we get? What a mockery we are making today of what the Supreme Court has said by being so selective in our interpretation, because we are so politically minded, so politically compromised, that we can't bring ourselves to even stare the facts in the face anymore. Can you believe it? I want to bring in Ms. Halim, CPM leader, who's in the opposition, who also happens to be a woman and has been on my panels in the past, specifically with regards to cases like the Park rape case. We all remember those times when Mamata Banerjee once again shoveled that matter under the carpet. You will remember that, Saira Shah Halim. I want to ask you, was the Supreme Court talking in generalities today about some larger issues that afflict women's safety, or was it pretty precise?
Okay. So, good evening. Firstly, the Supreme Court strictures are very relevant and I think they're very direct. Firstly, the Supreme Court orders the central forces to take charge of RG Car because we have seen how miscreants tried to vandalize RG Car when a very peaceful protest was going on. Perhaps they were trying to discredit the entire movement, or that they were trying to show that it's, politically mobilized, or whatever the reason is. Miscreants in hundreds cannot just enter, RG Car, especially when such a tragic incident has taken place. Secondly, the CGI, the Chief Justice of India, has basically directed the CBI to file the report and the state to file the affidavit on the 22nd of August, which is very clear. Then thirdly, the Supreme Court has issued a strict stricture to the government of West Bengal in the RG Car case and telling them that no forceful action should be done regarding the peaceful protesters. I think it is very clear now that, this whole theatrics that's been taking place of sitting in dharna or protesting, I want to ask, protesting against who? The health ministry is in your control. The home ministry is in your control. You can't be protesting against your own, government or your own people. So what are you trying to show to the public? All your MPs have been absconding. They've kept a very, studied silence on the entire issue. Only when the rage was out on the streets, then we see these theatrics of the MPs who came out and tried to give a completely misleading statements that there's a political mobilization going on. A and B political parties are trying to jeopardize the moment. No, the protesting people are doctors. I'm iterating once again. They are doctors, they are nurses, they are students, they are women. There is no political mobilization here. Yes, political parties will mobilize. However, majority of the people who you're seeing on the street are simply saying enough is enough.
Give us justice.
We want justice to the young lady. We want justice delivered to her parents. We want justice to every girl and woman who's out.
Viewers, can you believe there is such a vacuum today that the Supreme Court had to take suo motu action? And we are being told that no, this is not even a reference to the manner in which the Kolkata government is behaved, the Bengal government is behaved. Let me just bring in Ishkaran Bhandari, as well as senior journalist Tushar Gupta. Ishkaran Bhandari, let me bring you in first. Look, I have to ask you this question because it's fundamental to this investigation. Can we today absolve Mamata Banerjee of the larger charge, the larger questions that are being posed by the Supreme Court? Yes or no?
Rahul, there is no way that a chief minister of a state where the law and order is the central issue can be absolved of charges and the questions should not be asked to her. It's very simple. It's the duty of the chief minister to maintain law and order in a state. We are having a case. Forget the first incident. Having a second incident where a mob is able to attack a place where crime occurred. How common is that? If it was a few people, was the police complicit? If it was not few people, if it was a large mob, then was there an intelligence failure? How does a mob assemble across the city, across the state and reach a place? So which has become of national attention, then you will not ask the questions to the chief minister. Whom will you ask? United Nations or the president of US? Whom would you ask it? Whose subject is it? But firstly, there are 3-4 very important things which have come out in Supreme Court. We need to pay a little bit of attention there. A, what was not democratically possible, because Supreme Court has not done that, does not mean that Supreme Court has given a clean sheet. In a suo moto case, the Supreme Court cannot dismiss any state government. So I don't know how that comes. That's democracy 101. So let's not make impossible request and then say we have achieved a victory because the impossible did not happen. Second aspect, what's the title of the case? It is a specific case. It is not general treatment of doctors. I'm reading the title. In re, alleged rape and murder of trainee doctor in RG Kar Medical College Hospital, Kolkata, and related issues. So it's a specific case, specific doctor, specific hospital. The third aspect, my naman to all the civil society members and the brave doctors protesting in front of very adverse circumstances. One becomes a doctor to protect patients. Here, they are asking protection for themselves, and the Supreme Court's observation of let the power of the state of West Bengal not be unleashed on peaceful protesters shows how difficult it is to protest there. That Supreme Court has to make this observation. Quite apart from how legal notices are being sent to people on social media who are trying to raise voice, quite apart from the difficulties being created for the protesters on the ground. And finally, I was a person who went to court in Nirbhaya case. This is Nirbhaya 2. For the juvenile, I wanted him to have the maximum punishment. Later, the law changed between 16 to 18. Now, juvenile gets punished. The same ecosystem which was trying to protect that case is, unfortunately, suicide theory has come out in this case. How did suicide theory come? Doctors don't know whether a person who's found dead is prima facie dead because of murder or is suicide. It's a hospital. It's not layman there. How did the suicide theory come about? Were the injuries not seen? How was renovation allowed to go on there? How was mob allowed to assemble there? All these questions which have come up, and you have been rightly raising them, and today the Supreme Court is raising it. Lastly, let's not see the Supreme Court order in disjunction of the Honorable High Court order. Both the orders have to be seen together. One order did certain things, the other order is doing certain things. In conjunction, it is a scathing indictment of the state of affairs.
Mr. Khan, a quick response. Are you today allowing your conscience to be overruled by your, I have to say this, compromised political morality? Simple question. Would you at least now reconsider, revise your stand?
See, the BJP supporters and the spokesperson, they're trying to impress as if the Supreme Court ruling today.
There are no spokespersons of the BJP here.
The BJP supporter,
there is no supporter of the BJP here. Miss Halim is not a BJP supporter, and Ishkaran Bhandari is not a supporter of the BJP.
Rahul, the other two panelists who spoke before me.
This is the Supreme Court hearing. I read you the title. Rahul is the title of the case.
The Supreme Court has, please do not interrupt. As if the Supreme Court has indicted Mamata government on this issue, and the BJP.
So you still have a doubt?
Got some kind of material. No, let me quote Supreme Court. What the Chief Justice of India said in the very beginning. The Chief Justice said, "We are deeply concerned about the virtual absence of conditions of safety for young doctors in public hospital, especially women doctors who are more vulnerable because of the nature of work and gender. If women cannot go to a place of work and feel safe,
sir,
we are denying them."
Are you only going to selectively stick to 3 lines?
Supreme Court is concerned about Supreme Court.
So are you saying that we are all lying here? No, 1 second, Mr. Khan. Are we all lying by putting out
safety of women, especially doctors?
Okay, one second. Do you know? One second, viewers, just hold. Mr. Khan, just hold. There's no point shouting over me. Mr. Khan, Mr. Khan, what does the cause list say? Ishkan Bhandari, can you read it? I am liking the manner in which Mr. Khan is selectively looking at the related issues and only playing up the related issues and completely, conveniently sidelining. Mr. Bhandari, let Mr. Bhandari read out. No, 1 second. Let him hold it up and read out. One second. Mr. Khan, why are you shouting? No one is shouting and speaking over anybody.
Is the task force
1 second, Mr. Bhandari.
Rahul, you just need to be a concerned citizen. 1 second. Rahul, let's see the title which the Supreme Court, it's a suo moto case. So, of course, the title has come from there. Please, let's read it. In re, alleged rape and murder of a trainee doctor in RJ Kar Medical College Hospital, Kolkata, and related issues was registered on August 18th. The
It's
title
very
says
simple.
itself, they are dealing with a
So the
specific
task
case in a
force is
specific
only for
hospital in a specific
Kolkata.
city.
Mr. Gupta,
Where are you dealing with it? In Mars?
Is the
Mr. Gupta.
In Mars?
task force only
Tushar
for
Gupta
Kolkata.
wants to come in.
Look, firstly, to answer Mr. Khan here, no one is a BJP spokesperson or a Congress spokesperson when it comes to the safety of women and daughters in India. Let's get this thing straight, please. You're confusing people who stand for women's safety with people who are BJP supporters or spokespersons. That's not how it goes. Number two, you tried to use the escape of generics when you started speaking on the issue of what Supreme Court said. Tell me one thing very honestly, Mr. Khan. The amount of notices sent by the Kolkata police to people who were speaking on this issue on Twitter, was it justified? The amount of hard work put in by the Kolkata police in sending those meaningless notices to the people, had the same hard work been done in ensuring that the crime scene is preserved, wouldn't we be better off today? Is it fair for the local police to send out notices to people across India and across the world telling them to delete their tweets on the issue because they're registering their protest against what has happened in Kolkata? Tell me. And then you say the state government is not responsible, that the BJP is feeling upset? You are telling me that
Absolutely
7,000 people are... No. You are telling me thousands of people came in and vandalized the hospital. The Kolkata police later on tweets that the crime scene is intact. Nothing has happened to the crime scene. Then why were those people vandalizing the hospital for what joy? Can you answer that? The state police responsible for the law and order. No, hold on. You're very happily questioning the CBI on the case. The responsibility of the law and order in the state is that of the police. The West Bengal police later put out another tweet saying one of their officers had been injured. One of the female officers had been hit by a stone and she was injured. Are you telling me that the local police under the Mamata Banerjee government does not even know that the vandals were carrying stones? They were looking to arson. They were looking to vandalize the place. They could have potentially destroyed the crime scene, which would have made things very, very difficult for the CBI and for justice at large. Are you saying Mamata Banerjee government is responsible for none of this?
Actually,
Tell me, Mr.
Tushar
Khan.
No,
Gupta.
Rahul, I would like to answer that.
No, 1 second. I think this has been answered by the Supreme Court. You may choose, Mr. Khan, not to look at the facts.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. You're a lawyer. You're used to selectively looking at things to represent and build a case. Here, there is no lawyergiri going on. Let me be very honest. We are looking at the facts as they represent themselves, as they present themselves, as they presented themselves before the Chief Justice of India. And viewers, there's a very easy way of fact-checking, Mr. Khan. Just Google Supreme Court on RG car case. Simple. Google it. Article after article will come out and tell you what exactly the Supreme Court has said. No one is cooking up any lies here, viewers. Only those people who have an elevated sense of arrogance will accuse people today of reading the Supreme Court order and say that they are doing so at the behest of the BJP. Viewers, power corrupts absolutely. And absolute power corrupts absolutely. Viewers, think about that. Yes, Mamata Banerjee has somehow managed to escape time and again instances of massive lapses over the last 15 years. More, in fact, 2011. But viewers, precedent tells us that the lifeline that the public gives you, that the voter gives you, is not infinite. They also have the power to take it away from you. Is that moment, this moment, viewers? I can't say for now. I don't know. It could well be then Mamata Banerjee wins yet another election. But viewers, if she doesn't take onus, those victories will be meaningless. Those victories will embellish her ego, but not exalt her morality or her image. And viewers, legacies are important to politicians, at least that's what we're told. So think about that. And I would urge Mamata Banerjee to ask herself whether she has upheld Raj Dharma. It's no longer just about a high court that Mamata Banerjee has railed against and said is compromised. It is now about the Supreme Court Chief Justice, and she has 48 hours to convince the Chief Justice that her intent was not malign, that she is still an individual that can be counted upon to deliver justice. Viewers, this matter is not going away. The protests are only deepening and are not going away. But viewers, what is going away very quickly is the faith of the public in their political class. And let's move on to this next related subject. For a politician who is sworn to spreading muhabbat or love throughout the country, Rahul Gandhi's refusal to acknowledge the suffering of Kolkata's Nirbhaya reeks of not just hypocrisy, but viewers, of a very quick decline in morality. The Congress scion and the leader of the opposition in the Lok Sabha shocked reporters by refusing to take questions on the RG car rape and murder horror. In fact, Rahul Gandhi accused in turn the reporters of trying to distract him. This is a particularly unfortunate response. As a leader who projects himself as the rightful claimant to the Prime Minister's post, Rahul Gandhi is trying to say that issues that are today of existential importance to 50% of India's population are a distraction. If and when he becomes Prime Minister, will he only work for one half of India's population when it comes to securing their safety and ignore the concerns of the other because they're a distraction? We'll come to the answer, we'll come to this question, but not before listening to Rahul Gandhi. Pay attention, viewers.
कोलकाता भैया, यहाँ पे मैं इस इंसिडेंट में आया हूँ। मैंने कलकत्ता के इंसिडेंट पे अपनी टिप्पणी करी है, अपने व्यू रखे हैं। यहाँ पे मैं डिस्ट्रैक्ट नहीं करना चाहता हूँ, इसीलिए मैं यहाँ इनका मामला उठाने आया हूँ।
जस्ट लास्ट क्वेश्चन, आज सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने डॉक्टर से कहा है कि अपना प्रोटेस्ट एंड करना है। एज एलओपी आपका क्या व्यू है? सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने डॉक्टर से कहा अपना स्ट्राइक एंड करना है। एज एलओपी आप
देखिए भैया, मैं यहाँ इस मामले में आया हूँ। अब मैं जानता हूँ कि आप इस मामले को उठवाना नहीं चाहते हो, आप डिस्ट्रैक्ट कराना चाहते हो, क्योंकि आप दलितों की बात नहीं रखना चाहते।
आप दलितों की बात नहीं रखना चाहते, आप डिस्ट्रैक्ट कर रहे हैं। व्यूअर्स, दिस इज द सेम कांग्रेस पार्टी दैट कॉन्स्टेंटली आस्क्स द प्राइम मिनिस्टर टू कमेंट ऑन एवरी सब्जेक्ट ऑन द फेस ऑफ द अर्थ, from meeting Putin to the happenstances, the unfortunate ones in Manipur, to issues related to OBCs, to censuses, to Waqf Act, everything. And they urge the Prime Minister to come out and speak on all these issues. But when they are asked questions themselves, to bring themselves to speak holistically about another issue, which is today uniting the country in a sense of utter hopelessness. The leader of the opposition is accusing reporters of distracting him. How can speaking on rape on behalf of 50% of India's population, viewers, be considered a distraction? I don't know. But there has been an attempt by the Congress to just pay lip service to what has happened. And let me take you through certain remarks that have already been made by Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. In the past, Rahul Gandhi has come out and said that cruelties against women in Calcutta, Bihar, Uttarakhand and UP have shaken the entire country. At this time, across the country, we're in grief and anger. Whenever such incidents happen, the women of the country see what the governments are doing, how serious are their words and measures. Wherever there was a need to send a strong message about the safety of women, efforts were made to save the accused. When the government statistics show 86 rapes take place every day, from whom should women expect protection? Viewers, this could be a motherhood statement. Cruelties against women in Kolkata, Bihar, Uttarakhand and Uttar Pradesh. Viewers, Rahul Gandhi has not asked a specific question of Mamata Banerjee. Rahul Gandhi never, when he spoke about Manipur, said that, oh, these horrors, cruelties against women are happening in Rajasthan, in Karnataka, in Telangana, in Congress-ruled states at one point when he made those comments, and also in Manipur. He never drew any false equivalences. He was very sharp. Manipur Chief Minister should quit, the Prime Minister should quit. There was no prefix, suffix, annexing, any other case, appending any other statistic. Unqualified attack on the Prime Minister. No unqualified attack on Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, in whose state hundreds and thousands of protesters are trying to reclaim the night. Look at those protests, viewers. He acknowledges that there are protests, but he won't ask a specific question of Mamata Banerjee. Viewers, why? And the fundamental question, therefore, I need to pose, and let me ask tonight, is it because conscience has been abandoned on the altar of compulsion, political compulsion? And I have to ask you tonight, Kamru Chaudhary, what is this? You know, in Hindi there is a phrase, Raita Phailana. What is this whataboutery? In other words, why hasn't Rahul Gandhi asked for the resignation of Mamata Banerjee? Do you believe Mamata Banerjee should step down after what the Supreme Court has said?
Rahul, let me take your questions one by one.
No, let me ask you. Let me ask you a specific question. Do you,
yes,
as a citizen of this nation, identify with the protest calling for the resignation of Mamata Banerjee? Yes or no? First question. Number two, do you personally believe that Mamata Banerjee is unequivocally responsible, must take onus for what is happening in her state? Yes or no? Just two questions, sir.
The prefix that you started this entire debate tonight was about Rahul Gandhi and his refusal to speak on the Calcutta incident. It seems.
Can
like
I
that.
ask you, sir, do you believe Mamata Banerjee should take onus for what is happening in her state? Yes or no?
Yes, it is very simple. Just now only we went ahead with an agitation wherein at least 50 of our Congress workers were arrested by the Lal Bazar police for agitating against the against the police commissioner. Where is Congress not protesting on the streets of Calcutta?
So
we are there.
Am I asking you? Can Mamata Banerjee today distance herself from what is happening in her state, or should she take onus? Simple question, yes or no?
Obviously, there is no doubt
now,
about
viewers,
it. Because
viewers, if it is obvious, how do you take responsibility? You can only take responsibility by doing the right thing and coming out and saying that what we did in the first 4 or 5 days of this investigation was wrong. I apologize. Let me make amends, or I step aside. I betrayed Kolkata's Nirbhaya. I step aside. Has Rahul Gandhi asked for the resignation of Mamata Banerjee like he did of the Prime Minister after Manipur? And if so, why? And if not, why? Mr. Chaudhary.
Can I now come in?
Please, I'm asking you this question. Has he, yes or no? Just show me where he has asked for the resignation of Mamata Banerjee like he asked for the resignation of the Prime Minister.
Rahul, I will just ask for 30 seconds of your time.
Right.
If my leader Rahul Gandhi speaks about the rape, about the sexual assault on 4-year children in Badlapur, a BJP ruled state, or of the atrocities the women are facing for the last 1 year in Manipur,
Sir,
or if he goes to his
I'm
own,
asking you a simple question.
30 seconds.
Where is the piercing sharp question from Rahul Gandhi? Is it there? I'm only asking you. Has he asked for the resignation of Mamata Banerjee? Your own colleague, who was the previous leader of opposition in the last Lok Sabha, Mr. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, has asked for the resignation. Why hasn't Rahul Gandhi seconded that? It's a very simple question, sir.
Why has the Prime Minister not visited Manipur for the last 1 year? That's
viewers,
a simple question.
Viewers, here it is. Savio Rodriguez.
No,
Savio Rodriguez, would you like to respond? I'm not going to respond.
If you do not let then
you can speak about every other crime. Speak about Manipur. Speak about Badlapur. Speak about, no, 1 second. Speak about what happened in Uttarakhand. Okay. How is it fair, viewers? How is it
that
fair?
You
How
want
no, no,
Rahul
one
Gandhi
second.
to
How
speak
is
the
it
words
fair
that
that
he will
Rahul? No, no.
prepare?
How is it fair? No, no. This is what the sum and substance of what Kamru Zaman Chaudhary is saying today. How is it fair? What Rahul energy? Do you believe what he said was right?
Do you support what happened in Badlapur? Do you support what happened in Manipur?
Obviously not. I have actually spoken and
where's
held
the
debates on
answer?
it. One second, Mr. Kamru Chaudhary. Mr. Kamru Chaudhary. Mr. Kamru Chaudhary. Mr. Kamru Chaudhary. No, no, one second. You have a problem. You have a problem. You have a problem. You're not honor bound to. You're not sworn to. I haven't made you take an oath before you come on this show that you must answer all my questions truthfully and honestly. You're not in a court of law.
Rahul,
you are only in the court of public
you want
opinion,
that
and you can
Gandhi
actually
should
bypass this
speak
question.
as
You can
per
say it's a
what you
distraction.
say.
It is a whataboutery. I'll keep quiet. No problem. I'll take back my question, Kamru Chaudhary. I should never have asked you this question.
Now, do you want to listen to
No,
my
no, I don't
statement,
want
please?
to listen because there is no point. We are just filibustering
Then it's
on this
okay.
show. This show
Then
is
it's
based on hard facts. I come to you with a hard fact. I want a response on a hard fact. I don't want motherhood statements. I've heard those. Rahul Gandhi has given many motherhood statements. This is what his statement was. Let me read it out to you, viewers. Look at the way it was couched. And this is his statement. Here it is, viewers, and it's also on your screens. This is what he says. He says the cruelties against women in Kolkata, Bihar, Uttarakhand and UP. This was his tweet, the only tweet he has made on this issue. Rahul Gandhi has tweeted 48 times on Manipur. Savio Rodriguez, am I wrong? Am I right?
You're absolutely right, Rahul. And the problem is very simple. The problem is that Rahul Gandhi will open his mouth only when it impacts the BJP and Narendra Modi. In this case, while there is no doubt that Congress leaders like Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary and others have been protesting against Mamata Banerjee, I don't think Rahul Gandhi has the courage to demand a resignation from Mamata Banerjee because of the close association the Gandhi family has with Mamata Banerjee. Now, let's understand where Mamata Banerjee went wrong. In fact, imagine the mockery of justice when the chief minister of the state takes out a protest to a horrific, heinous crime that has happened in our own state, where the police machinery at that stage belonged to her to deliver justice to the brutality that happened. But now that it's gone to the CBI, I am willing to state my entire reputation on the fact that the Mamata Banerjee government will start now creating chaos based on the CBI investigation and blaming the Narendra Modi government for not giving justice to the victim and her family.
Well,
now,
Mr. Rodriguez, we can't, of course, preempt what the CBI is going to do, but your apprehensions, it is good of you to have raised these apprehensions. People need to be alert. But the fundamental question here is, tonight, has Rahul Gandhi, has he abandoned his conscience at the altar of compulsion? That was a fundamental question we are trying to get at.
Now he doesn't have a conscience.
Obviously, well, I can't say that. Mr. Chaudhary will not engage in this question. So you had a bit of a stilted debate, but that's okay, viewers. One can understand there are compulsions all around. And there are other compulsions that I want to talk to you about, because viewers, today as an Indian, all of you must be upset. The NDA has rolled back a perfectly well-conceived scheme to recruit top talent to government laterally. The policy is a tried and tested one. It was actually birthed by the Congress governments in the past. But it has been shelved because the government succumbed to opposition pressure, yet again. For the last few days, the opposition has said that the policy didn't conform to guidelines stipulating that all posts in government must be aligned to the reservation system laid down by the Constitution. The opposition also said that the NDA was deliberately going around the quota system because it wanted to cheat OBCs, SCs, STs of their due. Every commentator worth their salt have come out and said that it would defeat the purpose of bringing in domain experts to lift bureaucracy if one were to subject these lateral recruitments also to the quota system. Never mind that the opposition in its time also recruited laterally without paying heed to the quota norms. Jitendra Singh, DOPT ministers, come out and said PM Modi is of the firm belief that the process of lateral entry must be aligned with the principles of equity and social justice enshrined in the constitution, particularly concerning the provisions of reservations. Since these positions have been treated as specialized and designated as single cadre posts, there has been no provision for reservation in these appointments. And viewers, that statement goes on and on. Ends finally by saying, I urge the UPSC to cancel the advertisement. This is the fifth big policy that has been rolled back by the NDA. The opposition is claiming victory. Yes, it has won. NDA is rolled back and the opposition is vindicated. Opposition has won, but Bharat has lost yet again. Here's why, viewers. Number one, the rollback on lateral entry scheme hurts the wider aim of bringing in expertise into the government to make the bureaucratic system more efficient. Better bureaucracy means better governance. Better governance lifts Bharat, lifts your and my quality of life. So the opposition might have scored political points, but who is suffering? You and I, viewers. Secondly, the rollback of the 3 farm laws, facets of which were identical to the laws proposed by the Congress in its 2019 manifesto, denied farmers the opportunity to double their incomes. Higher farm incomes boost consumption, which fires up growth, Bharat's growth. We all prosper when Bharat prospers, viewers. Another rollback at the altar of opportunistic politics by the opposition and the spinelessness of our government. It should not have happened. 3, sending the bill to amend the Waqf Act of 1995 to a parliamentary committee only weakens the secular superstructure of the constitution. Exceptions for one community only ossify fault lines, the existence of which hurt national unity. A divided society is a divided Bharat. Who gains, viewers, when Bharat is divided? That is why I said, viewers, the opposition has won, but Bharat has lost tonight. Everyone needs to introspect, including the Modi government. I leave it at that. Anand Narasimhan with the right stand.
You will have to understand that CCTV was not working. Everywhere we have more than 1 lakh schools and we have 2 crore students studying in Maharashtra. However, we have systems by which we see to it that such incidents don't happen. This anger of people was specially against the lady senior PI who has not registered the FIR for nearly 8 to 10 hours. And that is the main anger of the people. And second thing is that they are demanding for immediate action on the culprit, which we are in process of doing. And I think that at the same time, I'll have to take every precaution to say that every child in Maharashtra is safe. And if you go through all the records, you will find that Maharashtra is the only state which is implementing this child safety measures very strictly and stringently. And I personally take stock of all the situations, and definitely here also we'll see whether the committee was formed or not.
By the time the authorities swing into action, such horrendous, unfortunate incidents have taken place already. We can't take away those times, those phases, those memories.
I'm not talking with you today. My record will tell you that 8 months back we have instructed all schools, we have formed the committees. In spite of that, if some school makes a mistake, we'll take a strong action against them, because it is on the school level, because we have a different system in Maharashtra, that these are aided schools where the management is private and we pay the teacher's salary. So there, if the management is found to be at fault, we'll cancel that school's grants also and we'll close that school also, because we are very strict about child safety. So
one,
you will have to
one
understand
is
that
a
it
lapse
was
on
not
part
a
of the school
government school,
administration,
it
Mr.
was
K.
aided
Sarkar. The
government
other is
school.
on part of the police. The delay in filing the FR in the first place. Why will it not anger the family members, the people, the parents of so many other students sending their young girls to schools?
Madam, I cannot hear you properly, but as far as I could understand a little, I think you are talking about the delay in the FIR.
Yes.
That we have taken action, and I have requested the Honorable Home Minister to suspend that lady, not only transfer her, but suspend her, so that there won't be any negligence in future from the police department as well.
Will a committee be constituted? Something.
I'll have to, madam, leave now for Badlapur
some decision
because the
taken
crowd
in that
there is
direction,
demanding
perhaps,
for
Mr. K. Sarkar, so that there is regular surveillance, more checks and balances in place, sir, going forward.
Of course, what I have done now, that we are installing our own system by which our commissioner office would be linked with each school. And while doing this automation, I have asked them to take children's safety as the first priority. And that will be done because that's why I will be sitting them till late in the night, and we'll make a perfect system that everything comes to us immediately. And the department reacts on it immediately. But right now I'm Education Minister, so I'll have to coordinate with the Home Ministry as well. And our Honorable Home Minister is very sensitive. Every 15-20...
Climate change is on our doorstep. It's time for a revolution to take root. And it starts with 1.4 billion Indians. It starts with one tree for humanity, one tree for Mother Earth, one tree for our future. Project One Tree, a News 18 network initiative.
PM is online with me, instructing me what is to be done in Maharashtra. They are very much concerned about the current situation and what unfortunate incidents happen. So I have spoken to Child and Women Welfare Department also, so that the immediate help reaches the parents. Also, the good mental care is to be taken by the small children. That is also will be taken. So I am visiting the spot immediately, and there will take every care to see that the family is properly protected, her identity is not known to anybody, and at the same time help also reaches them in time. So whatever unfortunate incidents has happened, we feel very sorry about that, and we are taking every step to see that such incidents don't happen elsewhere.
Maharashtra Minister joining us on the broadcast. Mr. K. Sarkar, first up, tell us a little bit about the investigations. There is so much anger. The anger is very visible on the streets. Across the state, we're going to see this kind of a movement pick up in hours to come. What's happening as far as investigations are concerned, Mr. Deepak?
The delay in taking the FIR is the cause of anger among the people. The concerned lady who was senior PI in that police station is transferred, but now I am requesting the Honorable Home Minister to suspend her. As far as Education Department is concerned, the principal of that school, the class teacher and 2 assistants are already suspended. Action is, show cause notice is being issued on the school. My entire department is with me in Mumbai. I have called all my 4 IAS officers and other people to see that such incidents don't happen elsewhere in Maharashtra. 8 months back, I have taken the issue, and almost out of 1 lakh schools, 82 schools are registered under the scheme which takes care of the small children. So that also we want to strengthen, and various other initiatives that we are going to take, because in the morning only I came to know about these incidents. Immediately all the machinery is geared up, not only to discuss about this, but today itself all decisions would be taken, GRs would be issued, and second thing is punishing the culprit, which is very important. So I am requesting the Home Minister also to take this in fast track court, and then give a special prosecutor so that the culprit is punished immediately. The various sections, those are imposed in this case. Total 74, 75 and 76 of POCSO Act. So that would go to 13.5 years of jail for this criminal. And I think that if that action is taken immediately, no other person will dare do this. The CCTV, we have made it compulsory for all schools to have CCTVs. We were very upset to found that the CCTV installed in the school was not working. So we have issued to the notice.
This is CNN News 18 and Federal Bank Primetime Studio.
Namaste, Jai Hind and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I am Anand Narsimhan coming to you live from the CNN News 18 and Federal Bank Primetime Studios. First up, ladies and gentlemen, Indian toy industry has shown robust growth as exports are surging. The industry has expanded its presence to more than 100 countries, including the US, the United Kingdom, Germany, and even China. According to industry data, a few years ago, made in China toys were ruling the Indian market, but not anymore. Meanwhile, Apple plans to open its fourth iPhone production plant in our country by the end of this year. As per reports, the Tata Group's big Made in India Apple iPhone plan is set to begin production in November this year and is anticipated to invest about 6,000 crore rupees and provide jobs to more than 50,000 people in the plant. Now, according to RBI data, net foreign direct investment or FDI has risen to $6.9 billion in Q1. Manufacturing, financial services